We're going to review today's market and take a look ahead into what the market has in store for us into CPI tomorrow. We had a wild day today, so let's jump right in. Okay, welcome back to Day Trade Like a Pro. I sent out an email last night and on Monday night, and I talked a little bit about what we were expecting for Monday. Not a whole lot changed on Monday, so what are we expecting going into the day on Tuesday? And I outlined all of that and what would change that. I gave targets for up higher if it broke down, targets for down lower, all that sort of thing. So let's just quickly jump over that. I've marked off the chart with the levels that I gave in the email that was sent out last night. So we had on yesterday, we said we had an old level at 46.50 and the market came down right here. This green line right here is 46.50. This is it. I'm on Pacific time, so this is about 3:30 in the morning, 6:30 in the morning Eastern time. Market came down. The low was 46, so it held that level within 2 ticks and then moved up higher. We have other levels in here that we use in the live trade room, but I tried to highlight some of what I thought were the more important levels for you. I said we had a target up here at 73.25. The market initially tried a couple of ticks and then within a tick, and then it probed through it by 4 ticks. And then what happened? It pulled back and then couldn't really get back. We had 72.50 today that the market generated. So there was a little bit going on between 72.50 and if you remember, I said a bit of congestion up to 76.25, and then things opened up a little bit more. So the way we want to approach this is it's one step at a time. So until the market can get 73.25 and base there and say, okay, now we can move to those higher levels. But that never happened. We got a little probe up through there. We had some news about NVIDIA that pushed the market down lower, very emotional selling. We said this 41 from yesterday was going to be the line in the sand. That's a long ways away from here, so could have treated that a couple of different ways, but that's a long ways away. But nevertheless, it did end up coming back down here. It broke, and then we said this would be a good first target. Notice how it basically closed one tick below it, opened on it right here, and then ended up pushing lower. This was, we said, would be a next target, and we said if they broke below that, right over here, 24.50, and below that probably back into the lower 5200s. So if we go forward through here, we have, I don't want to make this look, we had these 3 levels down here. So it ended up coming down and it held 08.25. But you see why I said lower 5300s, because we had 3 different levels down here. This was all plan B as of when I wrote this, which, you know, the market was trading 60 or so points higher at the time. So but I wanted to show you on the way back up. Notice what happened. It came up. It basically closed on our level here. Opened on it over here, pulled back, hung around here a little bit, couldn't really ever get below it, moved up over here, moved back to our breakdown level. So when we have a level like this and it breaks and it never comes back and retests it, it's a pretty good chance it's going to want to come back and retest it. And I want to show you then what happened next. Came back, it more or less held this right here, couldn't really break out and really move through here. So what happened next? It came back, it held this lower level, and then moved up and then came back. Now what needs to happen? It could easily come back and retest right here at 32.75, but it didn't do that. What the market ended up doing was holding 41, which was the breakdown level that we gave last night, and it held that to the tick and then moved back up to 72, and then we're trading right here. So let's talk a little bit about what the market has in store for tomorrow on CPI. So surprise, even though we had this huge move down, we're back into the same range and not a whole lot's changed. Even though there was a monster sell-off today, a whole lot hasn't changed. And what I gave you in this email, assuming things stay strong and we see that push up into, you know, with whatever CPI gives us or whatever, it's hard to say this early and almost, you know, more than 12 hours away from the news tomorrow morning. But really wouldn't want to break this area. Really wouldn't want to break 41 in an ideal world. Maybe don't even want to break what we had over here, which was this 46.50, maybe 46. Maybe don't even want to break that in an ideal world. And then looking for those targets that we had for up higher. So those are all in the email that got sent out. And we'll have to just see. It's really going to depend on what CPI looks like. A lot of this, we'll have to see how things look in the morning when we come in. But just to give you an idea, we're right back in the same range. Not a whole lot's changed. Maybe the breakdown levels moved up a little bit. We held 41 to the tick, so probably don't want to come back and test that again. So that probably moves our breakdown level up just a bit. And maybe we'll get something better in the morning. We'll have to see how that goes. But just wanted to give you an idea of how the email that I sent out with the levels that had in it, how did that all work out, and how did things play out today. But if all you did, let's just say if all you did was one trade, and that one trade was you bought a pullback when it busted through 41, or you sold when it came up to 41, or you bought a pullback here, but if all you did was it busted above 41, this is a very strong move above 41, came back to 41, if all you did was bought at 41, and it moved to there. That's 30 points back to 72. So there were several different opportunities in here, but and we had some other levels that were important intraday, that kind of thing. But just to give you an idea, that's a pretty typical. I mean, this was an outrageous day, but that's a pretty typical way of how we map things out in the live trade room and how we approach things and look at it like that. So if you're interested in the live trade room, you can just respond to the email. You can send an email to support@daytradelikeapro.com. Happy to have a conversation with you and see if it's a good fit for you or not. We have an opening, a couple of openings right now. Ready to take on a couple more people and help them move along with that. So if you think that's for you, or you want to talk a little bit about how we do what we do, where these levels come from, one of the cool things about what we do in the live trade room is that you will know where every single level is generated from. You'll know how to generate that level. You'll know where the market generated that level, where it came from, and how to get those levels for yourself. So if I get hit by a bus tomorrow, you're not relying on me for anything. You know exactly how to do it for yourself. So you can respond to the email. You can shoot an email, support@daytradelikeapro. Happy to have a conversation with you. Those spots will fill up fast. So if you are interested, then I'd suggest taking action on that. And happy to talk with you and see if it's a good fit. And look forward to, if we haven't met, look forward to meeting you and exploring how we might be able to help you take your trading to the next level. And I will see you in the next video.